Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chaos Creators Winter Festival. This is going to be a fireside chat. Today, I'm your co-host, Phoenix, and with me is the host that you all know and love, Jovi.
Hi, I'm Jovial Knights.
And then we also have with us the team strategy guide. We're going to go ahead and introduce everyone to you, so feel free to introduce yourselves as you see fit.
Okay. Hi, I'm Matt. I used to be Tails Channel, but now I am the founder of Strategy Guide. It's good to be here. Hi. Hello.
Hi, I'm Sam Procrastinates. I'm the co-owner of Strategy Guide LLC. Just joking. I'm the editor at Strategy Guide.
Hello, my name is Corey Muru. Everyone calls me by my real name, Patrick. I am a writer for SegaBits.com. I'm also the founder of Sonic and Sega Fan Jam, and I am part of the production of Strategy Guide.
And hi, my name's Aaron. Some people might know me as Super Monkey Tweets, where I post dumb monkey ball memes on Twitter. But for Strategy Guide, I do editing and some VFX.
So, how would you guys describe Strategy Guide?
That's a good question. I guess we're pretty new, right? We've done this for a year now, so and that's still pretty new to me, I guess. So I would say we're just a group of creative people who just work on these really cool gaming trailers and marketing stuff for not just Sonic, but we've also done some stuff for Monkey Ball and also for Atlas with 13 Sentinels. So it's been really cool. I would say we're not really too professional in the way of it's all business. We have a lot of fun with what we do, and we try to be really creative with what we do. And I hope that is shown off with our work. We try really hard. We do our best. I promise.
I know. I think that's what makes us special compared to other PR companies is we incorporate that the fan love and the stuff you don't usually see with official material into it in some capacity. Doing stuff that is out there, stuff that's more physical, whether that be puppets or fan service stuff. That's something you don't really see a whole lot when it comes to corporations, and we try our best to incorporate that as a group who knows what fans would like to see.
Oh yeah, and it's also all about passion as well. We've known each other for quite some time, and we appreciate Matt for starting this company, and working together as a team is our strongest point with Strategy Guide, and I'm happy to be a part of this team.
Yeah, with a lot of these projects, even I mean, especially Sonic. I mean, we all obviously have a passion for that, but even for franchises and stuff that we're less familiar with, we try to find some way to put passion into what we do, and just everyone in the group is always I'm sorry. We're a very passionate group, and everyone's always bringing something to the table, and it's always really awesome.
Passion seems like it's a really big key to the company, and it almost feels like it was born out of passion. So do you have an origin story for us? Can you tell us how it all came to be?
Can I be honest? I was going to say, from our perspective, I feel like a lot of that kind of comes down to what a lot of people do is just being up late at night in a Discord call with your friends, and then you watch stuff. And I just remember we would watch something and we would say to ourselves, oh, well, we would do that different, or we could do that better. I feel like I remember a lot of that. And that's not an ego thing. This is before we did anything like this, but it was more so we know things could be better. So we're let's do it. Let's actually try and take that step and do what essentially put our work where our mouth is. It's if we think there could be better, let's do that. Matt, go ahead.
I guess so I've worked in PR agencies before, not for gaming, but just for general stuff healthcare and business and stuff like that. Some of you may know I did the internship at Sega a while ago. This was after that. So going really into those agency that agency life, I was like, I like this a lot, but maybe these certain like markets aren't for me, right? I don't really know too much about healthcare. I don't really know too much about finance, you know what I mean? But I love creative stuff. I love gaming. I love movies. Love just everything around that, right? So Strategy Guide pretty much came out of that, right? Like I wanted to, just work with my friends. I think that was the biggest thing. Not take it too seriously, work with my friends, just have a good time and really make stuff that we're proud of. And I'm really happy with how it's been going so far. I'm really having a good time, and I really appreciate, the talented people that are on our team because they work very long and very hard on these. Take that out. Take that out. The phrasing. No. Okay. The teams. We
That's
are
the name of your
professionals.
panel now.
We are professionals. Well, that was a great interview, everybody. No. What was I saying? About this. I'm very thankful for being a part of this amazing team. Like Patrick said, I've known these guys for such a long time. I know Kenny and Evan can't be here today, but I've known them for a long time as well. So just working with, some of my best friends on like this series we love and appreciate a lot has meant a lot to me. And I don't know, I'm just having a great time with it, and I'm not taking it for granted.
Yeah, and for me, it all started when I saved Matt out of that burning building, and
Yeah.
from there, like our friendship just grew from that.
Wow, he really owes you like his whole life, right?
Oh yeah,
I do.
and, yeah.
That's why I gave him the job. I owed him.
Yeah. I mean, you just give him the whole company while you're at it, right?
Yeah, maybe next time.
Put up on those stocks.
Yeah. Do you guys have stock options?
We don't even have an office.
I think the only stock we have is probably like a stock of like Cheez-Its in a cupboard somewhere.
No, we
I
got
don't know
that.
what-
We got banana stock. We're good.
Yeah.
From
Not
the
Dole
monkey
though. We
ball.
can't afford that.
Yeah.
No. We have Chiquita, unfortunately.
I don't know
No.
what that is.
The payout for cooking with II,
They only
Oh,
gave
yeah.
you bananas. They didn't even try. You're like, are you sure this is our payment? You're like, yep, that's it.
Like, could you imagine like at the bottom where like the invoice is and like it's supposed to have a dollar sign, but it's just a banana, and you're like, why does it say 5,000 bananas? Like, am I
You know
reading
what's
this
funny
wrong?
is I feel like the companies probably wouldn't mind that.
Could you imagine just like getting a crate shipment and the UPS guy's just like, I don't.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, that's it?
Oh.
Just bananas? Do it."
Oh my goodness.
Oh, jeez.
We're gonna have to take the Dole line out, guys.
That's okay. That's okay.
We're doing a great job. We're all doing great.
I'm sorry. I'm so. Yeah.
You're good.
It's all good. It's all gravy.
What exactly does it mean to be a PR company? Because you guys were originally gamers, and like PR company sounds very professional and confusing to like the folks out there. What does that mean?
So a lot of like the traditional PR companies I used to work at, they do a lot of like press releases, social media, kind of crisis management as well, which means like if your client messes up, they're kind of there to back you up. You know what I mean? But we try to not take things as seriously. We just like to have fun. So I mean, for I guess the business, I try to like look at like what worked at the PR companies I worked at before, and I don't know. I don't want to take it as seriously because I feel like if we're working on these things we really love, we should have a good time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We should really enjoy making the stuff we make. So
Agreed.
Yeah. And that environment is pretty constant. At Strategy Guide, it's a very like wholesome and very creatively free place to work. So I gotta thank Matt for that.
Oh yeah.
like we'll be working on like speed strats or something, and we'll talk about like the Mario movie like the entire time. You know what I mean? Like we'll have like a 10-minute meeting, and then we'll talk about the Mario movie or just something like that, right? We'll just have a great time. So like, of course we need to get stuff done. I mean, that's our job, but at the same time, like doesn't mean you don't have to like be stressed doing it. You know what I mean? Of course, there's
Yeah.
like deadlines and time frames you have to kind of keep in mind.
I
But
think the
like,
reason
yeah,
why it's so relaxed too for us regarding like work is because you know, a lot of us are just doing the stuff we were doing before Strategy Guide. Like
Mhm.
Matt was really good with PR, Patrick was really good at just playing video games and getting good footage. I already had experience recording footage and editing in some capacity, and Aaron already had experience in doing effects and editing in that regard too. So I feel like a lot of what we do in Strategy Guide is just an extension of what we do every day, and that's what makes it so natural. Where like it's like, yeah, I'm working, but I'm just doing what I do every day. So while I work, like we just talk about what's happening today, like what's the news, like we just have fun, and it's great.
Oh yeah.
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 There's no need for stress, right?
Well,
Especially when you're like just trying to make something fun. And I mean, we're fans, right? We to an extent we get like what fans want to see, especially when it comes to stuff like speed strats and
Mhm.
Monkey Ball, 13 Sentinels.
mhm.
So I think that's a big factor as well. Like just coming from the fan community, and a lot of us here are still fans. Like Sam's a content creator, Patrick's a content creator, Aaron's a content creator, uh, Evan's Tales channel. So like, and Kenny's in the content creation stuff too. So it's like everyone here has some sort of background in like either YouTube or just being a fan, making fan stuff. Same with a lot of the great people at Chaos Creators. So I would say like I feel like that has something to do with it. Just like working on the things you love, it really means a lot to us, and we just don't want to let anyone down, right? We feel like we're working on stuff by fans for fans in a sense, so we just want to
Yeah.
make sure we're doing the best we can.
So you guys, you sit down in a room, you have your meetings, you discuss work, and it's loosey goosey for the most part for you guys, and it's like a fun process. But at some point in that process, like there needs to be like a conception, right? Where you create an idea, you create a pitch. What is it even like before you get to the pitch phase? Is there like any brainstorming that you guys do before you like get ready to go to a company? How does that all work for you?
You
I
know,
guess. Oh yeah, go for it. Go
I
for
was
it.
gonna say, like, when it comes to that, I find that a lot of that stuff kind of just happens like during those like conversations like we talk about, like where we're just talking and an idea will just come to mind and we just say, hey, at some point we should probably think about doing this. And then we get serious with it. We're like, yeah, like we'll
Mhm.
jot that down. We'll put that somewhere, we'll put that like in the back of our minds, and we'll we'll like look into that. And that's usually really all it is. We never really like have a time where we're like, all right, it's brainstorm day. It's like, no, it's like that stuff. We have a lot of ideas, and like that stuff just kind of comes out as we do what we do. And I'm sure Matt could go into more details of how that stuff usually comes to fruition. But like, yeah, it's usually just like a very like relaxed moment. It's almost like like anyone else whenever they just have like those. I think that's called like shower thoughts. Like like those ideas just
Sure.
come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And brainstorming too.
It's like, yeah, Sam, you worded that really well, because it's like anyone, I think, who is involved in the creative process. You have these ideas that just kind of come into your head at different points in time, and then at one point or another you kind of develop those ideas in your head and you kind of figure out a direction, and it kind of naturally happens. We don't really pre-plan much of it, you know.
Hmm.
I guess how we pitch speed strats, because that was a whole pitch meeting too, is we came to the team with a couple of ideas that we had. But speed strats was definitely the one that's would work the most. Um, so that's how it pretty much worked. We had a couple of ideas. We pitched all those ideas to them in the same meeting, and speed strats was the one that stuck. So yeah, and we do that for pretty much every project. we're a part of. I mean, these pitch meetings aren't, at first to me, they were a little scary. It's like, oh my God, I'm talking to like the team. You know what I mean? But it's, it it's casual, right? You're just, I think the best part about being creative is also being yourself. So of course you have to be professional in those types of situations, but at the same time, it's like, people are gonna like your ideas, but they're also gonna like you. You know what I mean? They want a team that they can trust. They want a team that they can relate to. So I feel like just us being ourselves, them knowing, we're a part of the community, that we love these franchises, these brands. I think that means a lot to them as well.
It would change based on the company that you're pitching to, the IP, etc.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it really comes down to kind of like who we know, who we're talking to, I guess in any given moment. Like obviously many of us know a lot of the people at Sega and Sonic team, so we probably don't need to go in as like super like put on a suit and tie type thing, like very casual, very relaxed.
Yeah.
But definitely like I think it's a case by case basis on who we're going to and what we know that they would want and what they expect.
Yeah, that says it all right there.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you make the pitch, right? You make the pitch, you put it out there, you get it approved, you start working. Burnout. Is it a real thing for you guys?
Not exactly. No. We do talk to them about deadlines and stuff, but like as for burnout, not necessarily, because as we said before, like we're all passionate about what we love doing and stuff, especially with like like particular IPs like Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff. Like we never get tired of the blue blur. Like we can never escape from Sonic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Sam.
like for me, yeah, never really experienced, as a video editor, I'm sure if anyone's listening to this that are also editors, they know that fatigue feeling, and I feel like that's very normal. Like after a few hours, if you're editing for like all day, you're gonna feel fatigue. But I feel like burnout in terms of like creativity or not wanting to do something, I definitely not. Like like I feel like whenever I work on something with strategy guide, I actually have a drive to do it well and get it done when it needs to get done. Definitely more like it does feel different from like editing like a generic video like my channel, for example. Like on my channel, obviously that's my own thing. I could relax and do it when I want to. But with strategy guide, it feels like there's a difference where it's like, okay, well, this isn't mine. Like this video, like I'm making it, but this isn't necessarily just for me. Yes, I'm a fan, but I also am making this for everyone else and the community. So in that regard, I feel like that gives me a drive that prevents a burnout, because it helps me like motivate myself to like do the best I can. Fatigue is real. I feel like that's for any workplace. But like I feel like that just comes down to management, like time management, and how you're able to go about like doing what's best for your time schedule. But yeah, I burnout, not really.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even say that too. I honestly think that like, I think honestly since doing stuff with Strategy Guide, I've been a lot better at handling my burnout. I don't know. I think that's because of the setting, the people in it, and just kind of how our work is regulated. But I don't know. The process has worked pretty well, and fatigue definitely happens. I mean, sometimes you get super involved in stuff and just kind of burn yourself out, but that's all something you kind of have to keep personally in check with sometimes, I think. But overall, yeah, I mean, the setting's been pretty good.
And I think when it comes to fatigue too, just to add on to it, I think it's more so as well, like not necessarily like the workload, but more so when you work on something for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I know, like for me, for example, like there'll be periods where like you work on something for like let's say you work on like a video for like 2 weeks. You're gonna be staring at that couple minute video for the next 2 weeks. Like you're gonna be hearing it. So that's really where the fatigue is not necessarily like workload, but more so like, yeah, it's like, we're staring at the same thing you've been staring at for a long period of time.
Frame by frame.
I think a lot of editors can sympathize with what Sam is saying. Learning how to navigate that madness, I think, is a little bit important because, you're gonna kind of be looking at the same things. Like there are times like where after finishing something, like I wouldn't have gone outside for a while, and I have to like readjust to reality because of like how much time I spend on something. So. Yeah.
but I feel like even for someone who's edited for a long time too, like because of those experiences, I always come out like different, like new. Like I feel like every single project I work on, like it enhances, or how do I say this? Like it increases my ability to work on more things. It increases my editing capabilities. I feel like I learn new things, new techniques. Every single project I work on, I learn a lot of new things, and that always outweighs like essentially the end always outweighs the hard time you had getting there.
And I think it's also because like we have a lot of ideas, but at the end of the day, like we have to figure out like what's realistic. So we could be working on like something that we spend a lot of time on, but at the end of the day, it's like maybe in like as we're working on it, that doesn't fit what we're trying to accomplish. According to maybe like feedback or according to like when the client wants it. So like it's hard to kind of readjust sometimes, but it's definitely part of the process, right? You got to learn that sometimes the things you want to do aren't the things that are going to work necessarily for that specific project. And I guess that's kind of where just learning about the process and the business side of things comes in handy.
It was really funny. You guys were mentioning earlier about like this like sanity check where you end up working with a specific part of a video over and over and over again. And some of y'all know this. I know some of y'all don't. I used to be an audio engineer. I did a lot of music production, and I do music production now with Chaos Creators. But like, there's a thing that you would do really often, and like people who lived with me would complain about this. I would have to take like a sub 3-second snippet, put it on loop, and I had to just sit there in that madness for like 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And like, you just have to like sit, you have to sit with that sound, and you're tweaking maybe like the note by like semitones, cents, you're barely shifting notes just to make sure that it's correct. And it's crazy. That sanity is like nuts.
Like you have to go like the wavelength inch by inch too, like mess with the audio and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say that like for effects, like definitely like I'm somebody who likes to like have like a lot of attention to detail to what I do.
Yeah, that keyframe hell, right?
Oh my. Oh, Sam, you want to talk about that keyframe hell?
I mean, keyframing is definitely awesome. Probably the bottom. Like it's probably like the one thing you always are like, oh God, I have to do this. I have a lot of experience, and it's so funny too because I have so many little moments, whether it be like on something I worked on like years ago or a year ago, or recently. Like there's like very small details that no one's gonna see. That like there's like small pixels where you keyframe and you animate and you trace over stuff and like you make sure everything is perfect, and like it like this is stuff like people would never see, people will never focus on, but this is something that you deal with a lot, and it could drive you mad, but I feel like again like the end result always outweighs like you know,
Yeah.
the fatigue you felt along the way.
I've always
You know.
explained it to people as like a love labor. Like you're just in love with doing this, and like not everything that you do is going to always feel awesome. Sometimes there's going to be work that's going to, you know, it might be a slight struggle for a little bit, but it's the give and take.
Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, that's what I usually remind myself too. It's even when it comes to even YouTube, like people always are like, "Wow, you're a YouTuber? Like that's like my dream job," you know? But like the way I think about it too is like whether it be Strategy Guide or YouTube, it's like that's the work element. That like there like nothing is free. There has to be work involved in what you get.
Definitely.
And like that's the work element is the editing, the keyframing, the hours you take to like you said, like changing semitones and like that's the work element, and we gotta have those because if we don't, like, then we won't have a drive to work hard. We gotta keep working hard, or we're just gonna stay in the same place.
I will one more thing if that's okay. Just with like the editing thing, because I learned this a lot this year, especially on like our projects, but I think like learning how to like mentally navigate it and not put as much pressure on yourself is important too. Because I know that like when you're like when you're like kind of like trying to like shape this thing that you love, it's very easy to get lost in it and to like beat yourself up and like really kind of you know, just kind of like that artist anxiety that you kind of get from just looking at the same thing all the time. I would just I don't know, learning how to eventually stop being so critical of yourself, and like it's important to like, you know, constantly be like tweaking stuff and making things as good as you can be, but you also have to take care of yourself too.
Oh yeah.
It's almost I think the best way to describe that, it's like, you know people always know it's like when artists don't know when to stop, right? Like keep adding to it. It's almost like that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know when to stop and like take care of yourself and like what the limit is for your work, you know?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely nothing wrong with taking a break when you're working on something that you like and stuff.
I was gonna mention something that I think maybe most of you guys are familiar with. Have you guys heard of like the 80-20 rule in creativity?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for people who like don't understand it, when you're trying to do the last 20% of a project, it takes just as long to do that last 20% as long as it did to do the first 80%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so like the idea is that like, yes, you got 80% of it done, but here you are grinding out that last 20% and it's taking up like so much of your time. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the discussion of like artists need to know when to stop. Right? There's just kind of a point where you have to draw a line in the sand and be like, okay, I need to move on, right?
Deadlines definitely help.
Oh yeah.
That and the fact that like we have to make sure like the client, because at the end of the day, the client's the one who really makes the creative final decisions, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to just keep that in mind. Like, what would the client want out of this? Like, when we're making speed strats, like what would Sonic Team and Sonic Pillar want out of this? You know what I mean? So I think that kind of keeps us grounded in a way. Like we have a lot of ideas, but we try to make sure that both the teams would love it, everyone at Sega, but also the fans. So we just try to keep it like in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. Awesome. Great interview.
I love the awkward silence.
It's going to be so funny because when you guys go and watch this interview, you're going to be like, wow, there's just no awkward silences. Everyone's like quite well to talk
Everyone
next to each other.
Everyone really come prepared today.
Can we keep that though? That was great.
So we talked a lot about like the stress and the buildup and the peaks, and I think we started to hit the point, like we're all kind of coming to this conclusion. It's like, what do you guys do between projects? Like, how do you handle your project downtime when it's happening?
We just kind of chill and wait. I think like we're fortunately in a place where you know, at this point, we're just waiting for the time where we're able to work on the next project we have planned. So I guess before, that we just kind of chill, take into account like what worked, what didn't with the last one, and just kind of like play games, chill out. You know, we are friends, so we do play games and chill outside of work. But yeah, I guess that's sort of what we do.
Yeah, just kind of wait for the next window to open, and we know it's coming, so like we just kind of wait. And when we see something that like outside of stuff that's planned, when it comes to stuff that we don't know we're going to do in the future, like we just kind of wait and see when something clicks with us.
Yeah.
And outside of that though, strategy guide, I feel like it's important too to mention like because it's a new company, it's not necessarily like our main like like everyone's main job yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so like outside of that, like I still have my channel. People have their own jobs, their own lives. So like outside of that, I think that also helps with the creativity of with a strategy guide, because like we it's almost like a hobby. I almost don't even want to look at it as a job. It's more like a hobby. It's like it's a side thing.
It's
A fun hobby.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when your day is over, you get to go into like your lair with all your artist friends and talk about weird art you want to do together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
I like
Yes.
that.
So I have to ask, because you guys were talking about it a little bit earlier. Do you know? So you had said that like there are some things that you do know that you're doing next, but like in terms of things that you don't know or things that you can tell us, what's next for Strategy Guide? Are there any like future specific plans you have? Are there specific IPs that maybe you want to target and go after?
Not sure I could talk about like what we got coming up, but I will say that we would love to work on other franchises outside of Sega and Atlas as well in the future. Like we love Sega and Atlas. Like we grew up Sonic fans. You know us. Come on.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, we would love to work on like other stuff. Like Street Fighter was one that we would really love to work
Oh,
on.
yeah.
We love Street Fighter 6. It looks so good.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Nintendo stuff. I mean, we would love to work on like any really cool creative stuff for any company. I know that's a very PR answer, but it's true. I mean, like we just love working on these things. So
Yeah.
anything that really sparks our interest, we would love to.
And
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 obviously, I guess I could say this too. It's like, especially considering like I'm an all Sonic channel, so like, obviously, like you mentioned, Matt, like we're all Sonic fans, so people will always ask like, you should do this, you should do that. It's like, whenever there's a chance to work with Sonic, we will obviously do it. Like Sonic is kind of like the bread and butter. I feel like that's how we all met, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where like we always want to work on other things. But yeah, even the people that we've worked with now, like that's something we'll always look forward to like trying to maintain. And yeah, I feel like that's really it when it comes to the future. It's like everything we're doing now, we kind of love where we're at, and we want to stick to the type of stuff we make, these awesome type of videos, puppets, the cooking stuff we did with Atlas. Like there's a lot of great stuff in the future. There's nothing. I guess what I'm really trying to say is there's nothing we've done that we were like we're never doing that again. It's like everything we've done was fun and was worth it in the end. So in that regard, like the future is like probably more of what you've seen, and maybe like yeah, new stuff, but like nothing totally like we're not going to become corporate. We're not going to be different.
Nah, no.
no. Yeah, you want to go, Aaron, or?
Oh, I was just gonna say, invest in strategy guide stocks.
Nope. No.
No. Oh man. Yeah.
Sorry.
As for the future of strategy guide, I would like to see it grow. Hopefully, we can all have like our own office room and stuff to like work together on more projects and build relationships with different companies. Like Matt said, like Street Fighter 6 is looking hot right now.
That game looks good.
Yes, I would love to like work with like other gaming companies and like developers like Capcom, Warner Brothers, Nintendo, even like Marvel DC one day, just to build that strong relationship as we did with Sega and Atlas. So I think it'll be like a good, fun experience and stuff. And also, like, working with Sega and Atlas and stuff, like, as a kid, like, I've always wanted to work with Sega in some capacity and stuff, and doing all the stuff that we're doing now is actually happening. It's like a dream come true. And I'm just like, pinch me in my dreaming. Like, like, it's
like,
fun.
Yeah, jumping off of that is I have two really quick stories, right? And I think it's really funny. So like I remember, Sam, months ago when you and I were in a call. I think this was when we were working on Cooking with II. And we did do the Sonic puppet video, but we were like, man, I'm not sure I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do like anything, with Sonic in the future. You know what I mean? Like, we'll try, but like we were unsure. And
yeah, and then like very recently after saying that, it happened, and we're just like, wow, that's really funny.
It's crazy.
we were very content at that point. We were very content in saying like, yeah, it's going to take a long time, probably not even going to happen. Like that's probably like a far-fetched dream, and then it happened.
And then at Chaos Creators, I remember this really nice guy like talking to me and Patrick, like, you guys should really do like Sonic Frontier speed strats. And at the time, we had no idea it was gonna happen. Like we just finished Origins speed strats before we went. And we pitched Frontiers, but I think by that time. But we didn't really know yet if we would be working on it.
Yeah.
So we told him like, there's no plans yet. So shout out to that guy from Chaos Creators.
Oh yeah, shout out
about Frontier speed strats.
He was very passionate. Yeah, he was very passionate to come up to us and ask us that. So give him a shout out.
I wonder if we can find him. Like, I wonder if he'll be in like the live stream chat, and we'll just be like, hey, it's you. Like, I hope he pops up into the chat and is just like, it's me.
I think that's the thing I love about like Chaos Creators is it definitely spurred from this thought of like I was in college and I was just kind of working on stuff and I was wanting to connect with, artists and community members more often and, come together personally on a bigger scale than like inside a Discord server one like randomly. And when we started moving forward, we started looking at, the projects of it all and how we're using these projects to kind of, work and try new things out that we don't normally think about placing time into. And so I love stories where someone starts with, I was just a fan, getting really excited about a game that came out to I took that skill that I just really wanted to edit videos of how I was reviewing these games, and I'm now using it to help promote the companies I love. And I hope that there are other creatives out there that feel like the inspiration to, bring that out of them, just to see what they become someday and what kind of projects come out of them.
Absolutely. Definitely, if you're somebody who has a passion for like some type of like series, and I mean a lot of these companies like Strategy Guide, Chaos Creators, Fan Jam, a lot of these things came up from just friends wanting to do stuff together and sharing their passions together. So I can't recommend that enough to everybody.
And like something I learned in my life that I didn't really like understand until I was older was it really hit me when I had the opportunity to work at Adult Swim for a bit, and there was this like internship like meeting that we all had, and they brought up like one of you was hired because you did YouTube stuff, and they were talking about me with the Tails channel stuff. So like it really hit me at that moment. Like, people are really looking for creative people. Like if you're trying to work in like the creative industry make something. Like, and I know a lot of you do here at Chaos Creators, which is awesome. I've seen a lot of your projects and I think they're amazing. But it means a lot to the people you want to work for. And it means a lot to the people you work with. Because it's a sort of like mutual respect. Like, hey, you worked on something really cool, right? So I think like if you're trying to figure out how to really get into working on official or even unofficial like creative stuff, I would say just go for it. Try it out. See if you like it. You really never know how far it might take you, and I know that's the biggest PR answer of all time, but I'm serious. Like,
well, I could even attest to this from my own story. It's, when Matt says, create something like that, sometimes that's all you really need to do, because you are probably, from what happened to me, my backstory, which I could go into now, was obviously I was making videos. I was a fan, and with that was enough, because you may not know this, but sometimes they'll come looking for you, and you didn't even know it. And that's really what happened to me. Was the first thing I did was the symphony, and I could go into why, and it's very common sense though. It's, well, they needed this symphony gameplay edited. They needed an editor who also knows Sonic well, because this person needs to edit well, but also match the music with the gameplay, and not some generic editor from a generic PR company is not going to know that. So that's why they came to me, and I was able to do that. But that was kind of the foot in the door for me. Was from there I was like, wow, wait, this can be used in the industry as well. And I think when Matt was like talking about wanting to start a company, that's also why he came to me, because he saw what I was able to do with the symphony. So yeah, like definitely just like create something, and sometimes that stuff will just kind of find you. You don't have to necessarily like go out looking for it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I feel like we have, between all of you guys here, we have so much knowledge about the industry, whether that's PR specific or just content creation. And honestly, we could talk for days and hours and years about all the things that we've kind of experienced.
Like, I think at the end of the day, like, I really appreciate everyone who has like either watched our stuff or has interacted or commented on our stuff for like Speed Strats, Cookie with II. Same with Job LLC. I know they're really appreciative of that as well. And it really means a lot. We do work really hard on this stuff, and we're like always going into it. Like, how are the fans going to react, right? How are the fans, are they really going to like this, or they're really going to like this? So we really, we try to put our all into everything we do, and we hope that shows. So thank you really for watching us and supporting what we're trying to do, and hopefully it just grows from here.
Yeah, just much of the same. It's like, yeah, definitely just keep supporting us, keep doing what you guys do, which is just be fans. Tell the team what you like to see, what you don't like, and that information also helps us, because then we would then know what fans would like to see, what they don't want to see, and from that we can come up with something that probably everyone would like. So yeah.
Also I want to say is to never give up on your passions, your dreams. If you want to set out and do something that you're like very happy about, like whatever it's like editing videos, making music, definitely never give up, and don't let no one bring you down. Just work it out and make it real.
And yeah, you could fly.
Like a butterfly.
You can fly. You can take off to the sky. You could breathe in space. Go do it.
I mean, I very much agree with Patrick though. Like absolutely keep chasing the things that you're into, and keep doing it with good faith in the people that you're doing it with, because those experiences that you can get from that are really, really incredible. And I'm really glad I've been able to have some of those with Strategy Guide. And it's really great to be able to just make this content for everyone. Growing up with like Sonic and Monkey Ball, it's so weird to be doing these projects. But yeah, I really just hope everyone enjoys them, and we're all obviously going to keep working really hard to making stuff that everyone hopefully really likes. Yeah.
And I just gotta say one more thing. I don't take your friends for granted. I feel like I am so lucky, and really, I don't know how I got this lucky to have so many fantastic like friends and creative people who I am so happy to like work on these projects with, and even like you, Jovi, and Phoenix. Like I'm so happy that we're friends, and I just don't take that for granted. So really, really appreciate the people that are around you. Really, just remember that you've got people there if you need them. Your friends are there for you. These guys have been here for me on many occasions. So,
Oh yeah.
so just always keep that in mind. You know.
All right, one big sign off from all of you.
I got one. Play the
No.
Sega Saturn.
That's a good one.
See you later, procrastinator.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use my Twitter anymore, or just any social media, really. I'm just trying to take a break, you know what I mean? But I am somewhat active on the Strategy Guide Twitter whenever we have something going on. So I guess just follow that if you want to support us. And again, yeah, thank you so much.
My name is Sam Procrastinates. I'm just in the Sonic community. So yeah, I mean, you could follow me on Twitter, YouTube, but more so, follow Strategy Guide, and you could keep up with all the interesting stuff we're all working on.
You can follow me at Corey Maru on Twitter, Patrick_Corey Maru on Instagram, and Corey Maru Gaming on YouTube, and Corey Maru on Twitch if you guys want to check out, whenever I stream a Sega game or talk about like a particular character from a franchise with Sega lores. It's a video series where I explain how the characters were created for that particular franchise and how it impacted the video game industry.
There's this really funny Twitter account. It's called Super Monkey Tweets. They post about Monkey Balls sometimes, and the memes are really funny. I'm gonna go follow them right now. This is unrelated.
That is, yes.
That's incredible.
Perfect.
Also, since they couldn't be here, just in case, I want to shout out Kenny and Evan for also being amazing. You could follow them on their Twitters and social medias. But yeah, no, love you guys too, and wish you were here.
Thank you so much, guys. It's an absolute pleasure to have you all. Jovi?
It was so great to have you guys here, and I'm so happy that we got to have this moment together.
Great to be here.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you for
discuss,
having us.
we'll discuss payment after. No, I'm just kidding. It was great. I had a really good time.
10,000 bananas.
No, okay, wait. That actually sounds like pretty okay.
Right. Give me the address to that office when it arrives, and I'll send you guys a box of bananas.
All right, give us.
I'm holding you to. I'm holding you to it.
Give us
Okay.
like 2 years.
Well, you guys are wonderful. Hey, let's do this again sometime. Maybe in person someday.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us for our Winter Festival. For everybody else that's watching the Winter Festival, there is still plenty that might be going on either on Discord or more that might be happening on the Twitch. Just stick around. Check the Discord or our Twitter for as much information as you want. Stick around, party, have a good time, and enjoy yourself. Follow Strategy Guide, follow Chaos Creators, and enjoy the rest of your festival.
Yeah, can someone get me a pepperoni pizza in the chat? Thank you.